And a pleasant good afternoon to you all here. I'm Mike Dewan here on the Region Sports Network, checking on in as this is live video coverage of the 2026 Cal Ripken World Series coming to you from Jerry Ross Park in Crown Point. Citronelle takes on Mexico for Game 3 here on Field A. Can't kind of set the scene for you all, but games are moving on. We're getting into the nitty-gritty, obviously, with it being day 3 here in group play. Again, we'll go over it over the course of the broadcast, but again, bracket play starts Wednesday. There's a gold bracket, so there's 4 pools of 5 teams, and the top 3 teams in each respective pool makes it, and then the bottom 2 play in the iron bracket, while the gold bracket is reserved for the top 3 teams in each pool. Again, just subbing on in. I'm Mike Dewan here. Kyle Stower is going to help out a little bit on camera, as well as Martin Murillo Jr. Tony Madreno is our producer for the game going on currently. So about these two squads as we get things rolling. Citronelle coming from Citronelle, Alabama, who I believe they are going to be the away team here in this one, so we'll get the lineup for you. But leading things off for Citronelle will be Cowan Reed, followed by Gunnar Gaba, then Marshall Moorer, then number 12, Tatum Nelson, followed by Kaysen Sullivan, Colin Weaver, Jarrett Wheeler, Brantley, and then after him, Landon Dunn, and then Brantley Clark, rounding it out. They're led by Kirk Nelson, and assistants Jimmy Sullivan, Justin Moorer, and Danny Hopkins. While Mexico, they're coming from Sinaloa, Mexico. And they are the designated home team. Looking at how they kind of shake out. Leadoff hitter Angel Granados, followed by Josh Alfonso. Then number 2, Derek James. Cleanup, number 51, who is the starting pitcher in today's ballgame. That is Francisco Castro. Then Alberto Espinoza, followed by Santiago Lopez. After that is Rodrigo Atondo. And Jesus Alejandro Lopez. And rounding things out, number 12, Elias Cordova. So again, we thank you all for joining us. We get things rolling, and you see Mexico has taken the field. We're getting ready to rock and roll here. Again, we're making our way through the Cal Ripken 2026 World Series. Again, day 3, so we're getting into it. Looking at how this group kind of shakes out, we'll take a look at the group standings. We know Mexico had a big win against one of the host Crown Point teams here. And current standings are as follows. Mexico is 1-1, allowing 8 runs, which is important in Pool B. They're about smack in the middle. And Citronelle hoping to get on the board. They're 0-2 and trying to shake up the pool standings in Pool B. A team to watch out for regarding Mexico's pool play, of course, Crown Point White. They're also 1-1. Mexico did get the win against that Crown Point team, but Exeter as well also in that 1-1 party. We are ready to play ball, so Citronelle will take over. And first up for Citronelle is Cowan Reed, who takes ball 1. Castro, the lefty, delivers. Reed lines it right to third base, caught it on a hop for out number 1. The hot corner, and Josh Alfonso corrals that one down. We'll mark that L5 in your scorebooks. Now Gunnar Gaba. That's ball one. Lefty on lefty matchup here in there for a called strike. Now here comes the 1-1. Chopped on the ground, foul. And I believe, we got word, it might be catcher's interference. Reaching base. So that's a rarity, of course, in the sport of baseball, but not completely uncommon. But Gaba will take his base. As that brings up Marshall Moorer. Still getting settled here. Again, top of the first. Looking at more favorite food, pizza. How can't you? Also likes fishing, hunting, golf, and disc golf. That one bounces in the turf. And runner will advance to second. Again, Gaba getting on base from the catcher's interference. And now, just like that, Moorer a chance to bust this one open early here in the top of the first. He'll walk the runner back. That pitch in there for a strike. Here's Castro on the 1-1. Bounces in the turf. Runner will try to advance to third. Throw down. No throw. So Gaba's now made his way all the way to third. With still only one down. Citronelle, Alabama, looking to be the third team from Alabama out of three to win the Crown Point Cal Ripken World Series here in Crown Point. 2023 was Florence. So those are at the 10U level. There's a called strike there. 2024, that was Muscle Shoals, also 10U. And Citronelle, they got a ways to go, obviously hoping to do some damage in these final two pool play games. But Alabama has reigned supreme up here. The 2-2. In there for a called strike three. Castro paints the corners. And more importantly, picks up a big second out. As in steps Tatum Nelson.
The shortstop, number 12, Tatum Nelson.
That pitch in the dirt. Castro lost his footing. Looks to be okay. Runner does not advance. He'll stay at third. Nelson, hidden talents. He put a couple periods after it. Kind of, throw it to the side, but he could dance. So he's a dancer. in there for a strike. Also, favorite pro team, the Chicago Cubs. His favorite pro athlete is Fernando Tatis Jr. Also likes football, basketball, and fishing. But a 1-2 count, 2 outs, man on third. Still top of the first here for Citronelle. Here's the pitch from the lefty. That's in the dirt. Turf, I mean. You get the picture. Sounds cooler. Still can't believe the work that was put in really overnight and all of yesterday. Maintaining these fields. Again, got a good amount of rain yesterday. Hopefully that's all. But again, just 2 thumbs up to the crew of tournament volunteers, tournament personnel. Keeping this in tip-top shape. Nice play at second. Will they get the runner in time? They will. What a play. Prevents the run. And an early web gem from Mexico. We'll go to the bottom half of the first. You're watching the 2026 Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Strack and Van Til for the win with 4 ways to save. Catch price drops on over 15,000 items and check the weekly ad for can't miss deals. Stack on the rewards program for digital coupons, points toward discounts and free products, and power up with our own brands. Keep your budget in the safety zone. Get the same great taste as national labels at lower prices. If you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference? Score big value with 4 ways to save at Strack and Van Til.
Sometimes it's a play so nice you got to see it twice. Rodrigo Atondo preserved a run for Mexico. Again, a sharply hit ball into the hole at second base. Dove, got on his feet, and cut down the runner just in time to keep this one knotted up at 0. Again, we welcome you back to the live video coverage of the 2026 Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network. I'm Mike DeWan. Again, Kyle Stowers, Martin Murillo Jr. are both going to do some camera for us. Tony Madreno fired up the replay for us. Getting all the good looks as the producer. Again, action rolling all day long. Majors will start up here shortly. And then again, I believe 2 more games after on A field, as well as, of course, majors with next game to come and 2 games to follow after. So we'll be providing coverage from first to last pitch. So we're excited to always do so. Now for Citronelle, looks like the starter pitcher for Citronelle of Alabama is Landon Dunn.
Leading off for Mexico, the first baseman, number 18, Enel Granados.
Landon Dunn throws lefty, bats righty. We've seen a little bit of the opposite. But early a lefty-lefty matchup here between Dunn and Granados. That one gets to the backstop for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That one dribbles in the turf as well. Quickly 2-0. Now 3-0. Granados doing a great job, not chasing, not swinging, doesn't want to roll over. So it looks to be kind of some breaking stuff from here from Dunn. Now the 3-0. That drops in for a strike. Mexico, they're led by Luis Lopez as the head coach and 2 assistant coaches in Francisco Velarde and Luis Atondo. Looks like they'll go again. Now here comes the 3-1 from the lefty. That's going to be poked into center for a base hit, as Granados will reach.
The shortstop, number 1, Josh Alfonso.
And he'll turn things over to the third baseman, Josh Alfonso, after the leadoff runner gets on. Check the runner at first. He kicks and delivers. That'll be high. A little bit about Landon Dunn, today's pitcher, history buff, as it is his favorite school subject. And also the rare lefty thrower, but a righty batter. Sporting a pretty decent pickoff move, looking at the runner at first. Now the 1-0. That's in there. We're called strike. Another pickoff attempt. Granados doing a good job not lingering off the bag. Always, of course, very tough to steal on a lefty. Already has that look at you. Runner takes off. Pitch is outside. Play at second, not nearly in time. And a stolen base for Granados. All 2-1 the count. Runner on second. Nobody out. Pitches outside. Looks like Alfonso was showing bunt. Pulled back in time. Nicely done. Coming up next on Major, Curacao and Mineral Area will face off. Play back at second, not in time. And he will take his base on the 3-1.
The third baseman, number 2, Derek Gomez.
Looks like our coverage is just now kicking off on Major, so feel free to check that as well. Coming to you live all tournament long. And once again, going to give another big shout-out to our food sponsors as well, Public Bar and Rec and Station 21, feeding the Region Sports Network all weekend. Check them out if you're visiting for the tournament. They will get you right. That's in there for a called strike. Up now for Mexico is Derek Games. Now the 0-1. That is going to be rolled, and that ball is fair down the line in left. 1-run row score. Another will try to advancing the second. A 2-run double, and Mexico takes the lead.
2-run double. Gomez makes the score. Mexico 2, Citronelle 0.
And that was just hit right down the line, right, of course, in between the line and the third baseman. A hot shot.
The pitcher, number 3,
And Mexico throws the first punch.
Castro.
Now in comes Francisco Castro. Swung on and tapped away, foul. Quickly 0-1. So again, Mexico, again, a pretty solid chance today would set them up nicely in their respective stage, in their pool, I'm saying, as they try to backpick the runner. Looking at how they fare going forward, they take on Exeter. That game would be tomorrow on Majors at 12:30 Central Time. That game could loom large for who could make that final spot in Pool B for the gold bracket, because Exeter also coming into this one 1-1. Exeter still looking on their schedule. They take on Crown Point White this evening at 7:15 on Major Field. Crown Point also, again, they're in that party of 1-1. So that game also will have plenty of implications, as Bismarck also leads the way in Pool B with a 2-0 record. But Citronelle's not out of it yet. This is a must-win if they want to compete in the gold, most likely. But they're in a 2-0 hole now. The 0-2 hits sharply to short, gets through, and another run will come in to score for Mexico. Make that 3-0. And still nobody out.
The RBI from Castro makes the score Mexico 3, Citronelle 0. Now batting, the catcher, number 21, Alberto Espinosa.
So next up for Mexico will be Alberto Espinosa. As so far, it has been 4 for 4 for Mexico on getting on base. So it was a single, a walk, a double, and a single. His first pitch is in there for a strike. Landon Dunn at 16 pitches. Looking to get that first out. Pickoff move not in time. Now the 0-1. That's in there. Outside part of the zone. Good pitch. Really like the catcher's cleats, rocking the Jordan 1s. Of course, in the Mexican flag colors. Really cool. That one inside corner called, strike 3. That is a huge first out for Dunn and Citronelle.
The center fielder, number 85, Santiago Lopez.
So that will bring up Santiago Lopez. To try and keep things moving. There's a pitch in there, another called strike. Dunn doing a great job working the corners and getting back ahead of the count. Mexico, of course, has really become very solid at the international level. Of course, looking at the recent WBC and the MLB talent all across those teams. Another pickoff move, just to name a few. A local kid, Alec Thomas, I believe he was on the Mexican WBC roster, who went to Mount Carmel High School just out of Chicago. Randy Rosarena played for the WBC team. A player I like a lot, Javier Assad, was great Cubs pitcher, of course. That's just to name a few. Alejandro Kirk, of course, Blue Jays catcher, first base, DH. And I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple, but yeah, it is a lot of talent in the country of Mexico. Now 0-2 on Lopez, Santiago Lopez. As ropes one to the second baseman, and that gets through. Tough, hot shot, one hopper. And the order keeps moving up.
The second baseman,
Hit the ball fairly well.
Rodrigo Atondo.
Now in steps up the second baseman who ended the top half of the first with the miraculous play at second. Is Rodrigo Atondo. As Landon Dunn now up to 21 pitches here with just one out recorded in the first inning. Runners on first and second, one down. First pitch in there for a strike. The 0-1. Pitch is outside. Double steal is put on. Got him down there at the, they're going to call him safe. Just beat the tag. So the double steal pays off. You don't have a better look at it than the third base umpire down there. And he just got in under the tag. So now runners move up to second and third, still only one out in the inning. It's Lopez on second, Castro on third. With Atondo now a chance to really blow this game open. One and two the count. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Drop third strike. They'll throw it down to first. Ball's bobbled, and he is safe. So bases remain loaded. strikeout is recorded on the total, but not in the outs column.
The left fielder, number 13, Jesus Lopez.
Also a wackier play in baseball. We've already seen a catcher's interference. Now a drop third strike, but reaching first. I mean, that happens a little bit more than their catcher's interference, but 2 over the course of an inning. That's baseball. But now the base is loaded. A chance for Mexico to do some damage. Long pause from Dunn, low mind games, and stepping out of the box is Jesus Alejandro Lopez. A pivotal point early in this ball game. That one's in there for a called strike. Quickly 0-1. Still 1 down in the inning. The 0-1, that's high. A 1-1, that's chopped and fouled up. The press box just had a collective sigh because a fan has been turned on. So that's our weather report in the press box. It's hot, it's toasty. It's been quite a good day weather-wise. You wouldn't take this over any other day. More importantly, not much clouds in the sky. Good day for baseball. That one just outside. So now 2-2. A 2-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. So that is the 3rd strikeout of the inning for Landon Dunn. But only 2 outs, again, on the scoreboard. So something that's even more rare in baseball. Potential 4 strikeout inning. Maybe on the horizon. But he'll take any out he can get here with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and Mexico already up 3-0. Dunn is up to 30 pitches here in the first inning. First pitch outside for ball 1. So this is Elias Cordova digging in. And evens the count up at 1 with the called strike. Yeah, 2 outs, 1-1 count. Still getting started, bottom first. Mexico has hung 3. That ball's in the turf. Runners look to advance, and another run will score for Mexico. 4-0.
Third base by Castro. Makes the score. Mexico 4, Citronelle 0.
The 2-1. That is sliced out to left. Play could not be made by the third baseman, but a valiant effort. Sliding in the dirt. But now 2-2. We'll get a scoreboard update real quick maybe on the game happening on Majors, which has just kicked off on the Region Sports Network. Between Curacao and Mineral Area, Curacao takes the early lead 1-0. Two international teams going at it at this point in time. The 2-2 is lined out to center for a base hit. One run will score. Another one rounding third. Play at the plate, not in time. Runner looks to advance to second. He's there. Mexico, 6-0.
Two RBI double by Elias Cordova makes the score Mexico 6, Citronelle 0.
So what a showing from Mexico thus far.
The extra hitter, number 3, Luis Lopez.
They have worked their way down to the extra hitter, Luis Andres Lopez. Runner taking off for third. Called strike. Is he there? No, he is safe. Nearly slid past the bag, but made sure to get back. And now Cordova reaches third with the stolen base. Landon Dunn now up to 36 pitches in the inning. Here comes the 0-1. An excuse me swing. And a foul ball. No 2 count, runner on third, 2 outs, and still here in the bottom first. That'll be outside for ball 1. In Mexico, their first 4 batters reached, followed by a couple more hits. Dropped third strike, reached base there. He came around to score. And a big double by Cordova to drive in 2 more runs. The 1-2 is fought off again. Souvenir for the fans. The lefty fires outside. Good work by the catcher with that runner on third. And the work of a catcher especially becomes important when you got runners in scoring position. A long inning like this where things could maybe get a little bit wild. Chopper in between the hole of third and short. That's going to get into the outfield. Another run comes in for Mexico. It's 7-0.
RBI single by Lopez makes the score Mexico 7, Citronelle 0. Top of the order.
And Mexico has now batted around as they've made their way back to Angel Granados. Granados earlier this inning led off with the single, swiped the bag, and ended up scoring the game's first run. Granados now ducks out of the way for ball 1. I love the batting helmet. As you can see on your screen. Very cool. Cool bat, too. That one down low, corralled nicely by the catcher. That's Sullivan, the backstop. He's done a fine job trying to limit any passed balls, wild pitches. That one's roped out to right field, and it gets past the right fielder. Extra base hit for sure. They're going to park it at second and third. With still 2 outs in the inning.
The third baseman.
Would have been a tough play regardless in right. And Granados now 2 hits in the inning. While Lopez, he'll move to third. First pitch outside for ball 1. Dunn as well, hanging his head high. Can't really tell, you don't really see much, awful body language or anything. Obviously, the score is not what you want it to be, but he's really hanging his head high and keeping himself upright. Ball's roped out to left field. That time it's corralled for out number 3. But Mexico gets the job done in the first with a 7-0 start. We'll go to the top half of the second. You're watching the 2026 Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Strachan Van Til for the win with 4 ways to save. Catch price drops on over 15,000 items and check the weekly ad for can't miss deals. Stack on the rewards program for digital coupons, points toward discounts and free products, and power up with our own brands. Keep your budget in the safety zone. Get the same great taste as national labels at lower prices. If you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference? Score big value with 4 ways to save at Strachan Van Til.
Mexico hangs a 7 spot in the bottom half of the first. I'm Mike DeMond with the Region Sports Network, checking back in from A Field. Martin Murillo Jr. is our camera guy. Tony Madrino is handling the production about the Region Sports Network as well. Chris Ramirez is our executive producer, and Rich Castillo is the operations manager. And we thank you all for joining us. Feel free to chime in the comments. Love to hear all about the stories of these players, about the areas you're from. That's what sports does, brings people together, all here in Northwest Indiana. Now digging in is Kaysen Sullivan, the catcher, who had a lot of work behind the dish in the game's opening frame. He'll take ball 1. Take outside, now ball 2. Kaysen Sullivan likes math, also likes steak, and his favorite pro team and pro athlete are both Dodgers associated. He's a big fan of Shohei Ohtani. He's now worked a 3-0 count. The 3-0. That runs inside. He'll take his base. It's been a long time for Francisco Castro since he's really been in action on the bump. So he's looking to kind of lock back in after a quick walk. That's in there for a called strike. Sullivan passes the baton to Colin Weaver. And again, a leadoff base runner always helps the cause especially in this type of deficit. That's outside, so 1-1 now for Weaver. This will be the 22nd pitch for Castro as he deals. Outside again, gets past the catcher, and Sullivan will advance down the second. So again, you got to wonder if it's maybe the prolonged time between first and last time he's pitched in this game. Just a little bit of acclimation kind of process for Castro, getting back in the rhythm of things. So I'm sure he will. As Castro checks the runner at second, he's ready to rock and roll. Kicks and delivers. That one lined out just over the head of the shortstop. Runner's going to drop anchor at third. Wide turn at first. But now runners quickly on the corners for Citronelle.
Now batting, number 18, Jarrett Wheeler.
That will bring up Jarrett Wheeler, primary third baseman. A little bit about him. Yes, baseball, of course, one of his sports. Also football and basketball. Best advice, see the ball, hit the ball. Something he lives by. Wouldn't mind a knock here. The runners on the corners. Citronelle down by 7. After an impressive first inning from Mexico. Just a brief mound meeting. Castro, of course, still in the ball game. And pitch count not an issue at only 23 pitches. A little bit of a jam. Runner takes off for second. Fake throw down. It is a called strike. So 0-1 will be the count. But Weaver moves down to second. So runners quickly in scoring position now for Citronelle, trying to cut into this lead. Here's the pitch. That's low and outside. Evened up at 1. The 1-1. That's outside. Castro looks, lifts, and fires. In there. Called strike. 2-2. Runners on second and third. Still a lot of ball game left. Top of the second inning. Citronelle again trying to cut into this lead. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Drop third strike. They'll go down to first. Doesn't really have an angle, but gets him. That's a tough throw for a catcher when you got to try and kind of angle it over the runner and get it to the first baseman. Did a great job there for out number 1. And a huge strikeout with no outs and runners on second and third. Now this brings up the game's starting pitcher for Citronelle, Landon Dunn. That clips the zone for a strike. The umpire will call time. Looks like he'll call the manager over of Mexico. And they may have a quick chat. While they do that, let's talk about the Economy Electric Heating and Cooling game day forecast, how things are shaping up here in the hub city in Crown Point. Currently 87 degrees. Feels like 88. That checks out. Cloudy skies, but very little chance of any precipitation coming forward. Cloudiest skies, but the sunshine's definitely peeking out. And the heat is certainly felt. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling with a 24/7 emergency service. Comfort isn't far away. So after that brief mound meeting, we are back and we're ready to rock. With the 0-1 count here, still one out. Bunt defense is on. A nicely placed bunt. A run will come in to score. A job is done there from Landon Dunn as Citronelle gets on the board.
Sacrifice bunt by Landon Dunn. And the score will now 7-1. Now batting number 21, Brantley Clark.
So Citronelle now on the board as Brantley Clark now digs in. With 2 outs, a man on third. That's roped out to center for a base hit. And Clark with a huge knock, and he's fired up at first. And I wish it was a longer at bat because I gotta share about this hidden talent here. He said, "When snakes bite me, they die." Fun fact, Brantley was bit by a copperhead this summer and spent 4 days in the hospital. He played state 2 weeks later. A tough kid and showed a good piece of hitting there. When snakes bite me, they die. You are a warrior, Brantley Clark. 7-2 is your score, and the lineup turns back over. Clark will try to steal second. Potential hit and run in place. Good throw, and it's in time. I believe maybe a miscommunication. You saw Reed try to swing. Could have been a hit and run in place. But Mexico guns him down. 7-2 reads your score, bottom of the second. Up next, you're watching the 2026 Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Back here on the Region Sports Network, 7-2 is your score in favor of Mexico, who will come up to bat here shortly as follows. It will be Gamez, Castro, and Espinosa. At Region Sports, we don't like downtime. Whether it's a championship drive or a game night print job, we trust Pulse Technology to keep the toner cartridge full and the process running smoothly. Pulse Technology, the heartbeat of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. So no changes to note as of now defensively for Citronelle, as Landon Dunn is still out there on the bump at 46 pitches. Again, full crew on hand all weekend long. Got to give a big shout out to Everybody making things possible, not only on the Region Sports Network, but also, everybody involved with this tournament. Crown Point, and again, Cal Ripken, the board director, of course, Adam Whitehouse, the tournament director, and so many different faces and names that cannot go unannounced. And, of course, the umpires, right, the blue crew, which you've seen in our banner at the bottom of our screen. Gotta love the umpires. Taking the whole week to umpire the best of the best at the 11U level. First pitch from Dunn is down low to Gomez. The 1-0. Swing and a miss from Gomez. Again, I got to say, giving up 7 runs in the first, you wouldn't notice it looking at Dunn. His body language has been really impressive, and he has all the right to kind of be frustrated. But he is really keeping his head high and keeping his team getting good spirits. That one's going to be ripped out to left center. That's going to hit the wall. It's going to be a long single for Gomez. That one nearly left the yard.
Now batting number 51, Francisco Castro.
Gomez is now second time reaching base as he came around to score in the first. As Francisco Castro will dig in. Also reached in the first with a single and has scored a run. .49 pitches now for Dunn, about to be 50. He'll check on the runner at first for them. Runner takes off for second, hit and run maybe in place. Runner will make it to second in time, but that's going to be out number 1 for Citronelle. But the job is done. The runner moves over and sets the table for Alberto Espinoza, who went down looking in the first. Again, one away, man on second, 7-2, Mexico lead. Pickoff play in place. Runner gets back. Espinoza looked to his coach in the dugout. Seeing if anything's in place for him. Mexico's been fairly aggressive on the base paths and little mind games there at second base. As the middle infielders are screaming to get back. And the mind games continue at second. 51 pitches for Dunn. 2-0 here in the bottom of the second. Runner goes for third, but that's chopped foul. Quickly 1-1. Runner takes off for third. That one's going to fall in the gap and roll all the way to the wall. A run will come in to score. Going to be a long single for Mexico and Espinoza.
That would be an RBI for Espinoza to make the score 8-2. Now batting number 85, Santiago Lopez.
Just more impressive hitting from this Mexico lineup. As Santiago Lopez is now due up with a man on first and one away. It's outside for a ball. Checking back on the runner at first. Gets back in time. A 1-0 in their first strike. Let's take a look at the other field. Curacao, I believe. Yep, 6-1 over Mineral Area right now. What's going on, Majors? Runner takes off for second. Throw down will not be in time. Another stolen base, and that was ball 2. So Espinoza swipes a bag. Well, looking at the chat, thank you all very much for the support. There's a lot of the Mexican faithful in the chat, on YouTube especially. Certainly a lot to cheer about thus far. Liner to first base and caught. Great work by Colin Weaver to keep that in the infield and maybe save a run.
Nice grab by Weaver. Now batting number 23, Rodrigo Atondo.
In comes Rodrigo Atondo, who reached base on the drop strike. Came around to score. And 2 outs now in the inning. Man on second. That one runs high. That dribbles in the turf, ball 2. 8-2 your score. Man on second. And that's outside, ball 3. It's now 60 pitches for Dunn. Mexico is, simply put, working the count. Runner goes for third. Beats that in plenty of time. That's a called strike. Now 3-1. It's Espinosa now his second stolen base of the inning. And that dribbles in the turf for ball 4.
Now batting number 13, Jesus Alejandro.
So now runners on the corners, 2 outs, and in steps Jesus Alejandro Lopez. Ball gets away. Runner will take second. That's all they will take as the runner from third retracts and gets back to third base. Lopez struck out in the first. That'll be upstairs for ball 2. Two down in the inning. Dunn still hanging in there. Working exceptionally hard. 2-0. That catches for strike 1. Looks like we'll have a time called. And at the 65 pitch mark, coach will come out. Just a couple words of encouragement. Let's see. And Dunn's back and ready to roll. So 2-1, 2 outs. Dunn still in the ball game. Hoping to escape the jam. That bounces in the turf, gets past the catcher. Going to be play at the plate, not in time. And Mexico comes home to score, now 9-2.
Makes the score Mexico 9, Citronelle 2.
Jesus Alejandro Lopez. Now still 3-1 count, now man just at third. The pitch. It's outside ball 4. So every starter in the lineup for Mexico has reached base at least once.
The right fielder, number 12.
And now it's 67 pitches for Dunn. Manager comes out. Looks to be Kirk Nelson. He'll take the ball from Dunn, who certainly held his own, hung in there, showed a lot of fight. But a pitching change is underway. We'll be right back here to tell more here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Athletic Performance Factory in Highland, Indiana, we push you to be bigger, faster, stronger, more explosive. Challenge every muscle with our cutting-edge sand speed and agility training. Build rock-solid strength and core stability to dominate on game day. Rent our full-size outdoor turf field for team workouts and practices. Improve your swing, boost your field skills, and protect your arm with expert one-on-one baseball and softball training built around you. We develop the entire athlete, mentally and physically. Athletic Performance Factory, where athletes are made.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
Welcome to Diamond Plate, your new go-to sports bar with a casual vibe and elevated ballpark favorites. Dig into hand-breaded chicken tenders, juicy burgers, build your own pizzas, and don't forget our full bar stocked with local favorites and everyday classics. Located inside Athletic Performance Factory. Diamond Plate brings the fun with multi-sport simulators, duck-pin bowling lanes, plus party space for birthdays, holidays, company outings, and fundraisers. Diamond Plate, where every bite, every sip, and every play is a win.
Back here at Jerry Ross Park, Crown Point Cal Ripken World Series. Mexico leads 9-2 over Citronelle. In steps Elias Cordova with runners on the corners. 2 outs. And a new pitcher for Citronelle. Cordova had a big-time double in the first inning to bring home 2 runs. The lefty fires, runner takes off for second base. He'll get there, no problem. In for Citronelle is Gunnar Gaba. Now at pitcher. Count now 1-0. That time gets out of the way for ball 2. Mexico awfully aggressive on the base paths. They'll take the extra base when they can, and it's paid dividends. The 2-0 in there for a called strike. And that goes outside. 3-1. Just very patient plate appearances from Mexico. They're really not chasing, not rolling over anything, just working the count, seeing the pitches. And again, running up that pitch count. That is thrown behind the batter. Run will come in to score. That'll be a 4-pitch walk. Now he looks to take second base, and he'll do just that. Heads up base running from Cordova. So gets on base with the walk, and then heads up base running again. Takes the extra base. Lopez will advance to third, and the score is now 10-2 Mexico. Thought I had murmurs of a grand salami on the other field. Curacao? All right. Johnny Meyer of Curacao, grand slam alert on Majors. We'll get a score on that as well. I think they were taking on Mineral Area. That game, of course, on the Region Sports Network. 6-4 is still a great ball game over there. Looks like Mineral Area is kind of chipping away at it. Still bottom second. Is that pitch in there for a strike? One count. 2 down. Second and third. That's in there for a strike, top of the zone. As this is Luis Andres Lopez. That's outside for ball 2. Again, be sure to stay with us after the game. We have 3 awards to hand out. The Crow Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, and the Proud to be Union Iron Workers Local 395 Play of the Game. The 2-2 hit on the ground to short, gobbled up, thrown across the diamond in time for out number 3. So Mexico plates 3 more, and they now lead 10-2 over Citronelle. We will be back here with more, starting with the top of the 3rd on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Athletic Performance Factory in Highland, Indiana, we push you to be bigger, faster, stronger, more explosive. Challenge every muscle with our cutting-edge sand speed and agility training. Build rock-solid strength and core stability to dominate on game day. Rent our full-size outdoor turf field for team workouts and practices. Improve your swing, boost your field skills, and protect your arm with expert one-on-one baseball and softball training built around you. We develop the entire athlete, mentally and physically. Athletic Performance Factory, where athletes are made.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
Back here on the Region Sports Network. Top of the 3rd inning, Mexico again plated 3 more runs to make the score 10-2 here at Jerry Ross Park in Crown Point. I'm Mike DeWan. Martin Murillo Jr. is our camera guy. Well, 2-man production team, so that's camera team. Kyle Stowers and Tony Madrino helping us out in that regard. But Mexico, again, after a 7 spot in the first, again, just more patient at bats, some high-quality hitting, and have jumped out big to a 10-2 lead. Leading off for Citronelle in the 3rd inning is the top of the order. So it'll be Reed, Gaba, and Moore. So again, catch tournament coverage all tournament long, only on the Region Sports Network. Again, 6-4 still looks to be the score on majors. We got a great game brewing over there between Curacao and Mineral Area. And a grand slam over in that field.
Top of the order, number 5, Cohen Reed.
So Colin Reed now digs in. Favorite food, pizza rolls. I feel like that's a popular option. Late night snack. Hits one out to left. 1 pitch, 1 out for Mr. Reed.
The pitcher, number 2, Gunnar Gaba.
So up next is now the pitcher for Citronelle, Gaba, the lefty. Who reached on a catcher's interference back in the first. Was later stranded at 3rd. As he takes strike 1. The 0-1 is in there, dips in for strike 2. Nice pair of pitches there from Francisco Castro. A little about Citronelle, Alabama. Looks to be just north of Mobile. That bounces in the turf. Roughly a population of just south of 4,000. But but known as the oil capital of Alabama after a big-time discovery in 1955. Super cool stuff. The 1-2. Check, swing. He went around, strike 3. And in comes the 3-hitter,
The center fielder, number
Marshall Moorer.
Marshall Moore.
Favorite school subject as well. Given how many sports and interests he has, it's PE. So again, if you missed it in the first, he likes fishing, he likes hunting, he likes golf, and even disc golf, which I've never got a chance to play. Definitely a lot easier than golf, at least I think. Now the 1-0. That's outside for ball 2. No, the 2-0. Swung on, popped down the first base line, and making the catch is the first baseman for out number 3. Score still reads the same, 10-2 in favor of Mexico. They're up to bat next at the bottom of the third on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Welcome to Diamond Plate, your new go-to sports bar with a casual vibe and elevated ballpark favorites. Dig into hand-breaded chicken tenders, juicy burgers, build your own pizzas, and don't forget our full bar stocked with local favorites and everyday classics, located inside Athletic Performance Factory. Diamond Plate brings the fun with multi-sport simulators, duck pin bowling lanes, plus party space for birthdays, holidays, company outings, and fundraisers. Diamond Plate, where every bite, every sip, and every play is a win.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
Back here on the Region Sports Network. Bottom 3, 10-2 in favor of Mexico. Coming in from Sinaloa, Mexico. And a team, again, that's been very, very impressive today through 2 innings and some change. Take a look about Sinaloa, Mexico, which is in northwest Mexico. Sitting on the Pacific coast. Very cool. Facing the Gulf of California to the west. And the lineup turns itself over to the top
Baseman number 18,
with Angel Granados. Again, reached base in the first with a single, and then followed it up later that inning with a double. And hasn't had an at-bat since. And that's in there, called strike. Although got away from the catcher. No, 0-1. That's high. Bottom 3, 1-1. That's outside for ball 2. So at this point in time, looking at the inning we're in and the runs Mexico has, if Mexico plates 2 more, and Citronelle does not score next inning, the game would be over. Or Mexico could end the game now if they were to score 7, which would not be the first time this game. The 3-1 pitch out. Nope, that is in there for a called strike. Just about right on the black. Now the count will be worked full as the lefty Gaba delivers. That is high and outside for ball 4.
The third baseman, number 1, Josh Alfonso.
Up is Josh Alfonso. He reached and came around to score in the first with a walk, and then lined out to left later that inning to end the first frame. He'll take outside for ball 1. Again, looking at Granados, already swiped a bag today. I'd imagine that he would probably try to do the same here in the third. Let me check on him. One-oh count. Ball is roped out to the left and a big gap in left center. As coming around, and he will stay at third, but that's going to be a double. The extra base hitting continues for Mexico.
The shortstop, number 2, Derek Gomez.
Now Derek Gomez is next in line. Gomez has reached base twice, once in the first and once in the second. Chopper to third. Third baseman loses his glove, tries to barehand it, cannot. A run will score, an infield single, and heads up base running once again as the runner advances to third.
Gomez brings in a run. Score is now Mexico 11, Citronelle 2.
So Granados scores his second run of the ball game. Alfonso
Now batting,
moves to third on the throw.
Number 51, Francisco Castro.
And now Francisco Castro once again hopes to help out his cause on the bump. Score now reads 11-2 in favor of Mexico. Runners on the corners, nobody down, about to be the 20th pitch for Gaba. Ball gets away. Runner steals second. He'll get to third. Run does come in to score. And it is now 12-2. Runner goes from first to third on the stolen base attempt. Castro, the lefty, against Gaba, the lefty. That's high and inside for ball 2. So Mexico, with a potential win here, for results hold, puts themselves in pretty good position to find themselves in the gold bracket. As there's a strike there for 2-1. Again, got to finish strong, right? You're only really as good as your last game, last couple pairs of games. The final 2 days of pool play. The 2-1. In on the hands, but just foul. That's a tough pitch to hit. So now the 2-2, nobody out, runner on third. Drops in for a called strike 3.
The catcher, catcher, number 21, Alberto Espinoza.
Up next for Mexico, now the backstop, Alberto Espinoza. So again, if results hold, come the top of the fourth inning, this game would be final. So Citronelle entering the next inning will be down potentially to their final 3 outs. As Mexico has scored in every inning. That ball is roped out to left, but it is foul. That had a chance if that thing stayed fair. Obviously hit the wall just in foul territory, but a little green monster in left. That's a tough one to clear. Sporting, of course, the 2013 12U Cal Ripken World Series champions here in Crown Point. Now the 1-1. That's high. Make that now 3-1. One down in the inning. And swing and a miss for strike 2. Ball gets away from the pitcher, but he corrals it. Skinner Gaba back in action. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for out number 2. Back-to-back punch-outs for Gaba.
The center fielder, number 85, Santiago Lopez.
Lopez reached base in the first with a single. That's Santiago Lopez. 2 down, runner on third. First pitch swing to third base. Kept in the infield, but could not gun the runner at first, so a run will score for Mexico and an infield hit for Lopez.
Infield single by Lopez brings in a run, making the score 13-2.
So up next is Rodrigo Atondo.
The second baseman, Rodrigo Atondo.
We reached base twice. A walk in the second and a drop third strike in the first. It's high and outside for a ball. Runner goes for second. They are safe. It's Lopez once again. Pitch to Atondo is behind him, gets to the backstop. Runner will advance to third. That drops in for a strike. Now the 2-1. That's roped out to center and caught. Nice play by the center fielder, but Mexico plates 3 more. Citronelle has to score 2 to survive. We'll be back for the top half of the 4th on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Located just 1 block north of the square in Crown Point and just 1 minute from Jerry Ross Park, Station 21 American Grill is one of the city's most popular eateries. Station 21 offers a full menu from steaks and seafood to burgers and wings. While in town for the Cal Ripken World Series, stop in and enjoy comfortable dining while watching a game on one of the 28 big screen TVs. Check out the menu at station21.com. Station 21 American Grill. Eat, drink, and relax.
Nelson, Sullivan, and Weaver are due up for Citronelle. As mentioned before the break here on the Region Sports Network, the score reading 13-2. So if Citronelle cannot get under that 10-run deficit, this game will go final in favor of Mexico. And I believe from last we've checked, both teams are in action come tomorrow, as the pools are really starting to kind of take form. Mexico, again, 1-1. They played a doubleheader on Saturday. And they split. And then Citronelle today, and then tomorrow they're the away team against Exeter, who also, again, is in that mix at 1-1. Bismarck leading the way in Pool B. Crown Point White is ahead at 1-1. Again, runs against is important here. But again, with a win today, the chances certainly increase for Mexico, but could set up a very big matchup with Exeter. And more importantly, Mexico in the runs against department. 8 runs against in comparison to Exeter's 14. And that's not including the 2 here in this game for Mexico, which raises their total then to 10. So Tatum Nelson digs in. Hits it foul to the right side. Again, we're nearly just getting started here on this Monday. Still, I think 4 games in total, 2 on each field, to round out the 3rd day of pool play. The Cal Ripken 2026 11U World Series. The lefty deals. Swing and a miss. And Francisco Castro, I must say, giving them, if they get through this, he's still only at 42 pitches, so preserving himself could be used for some bigger games down the line, once bracket play really kind of rolls around. But very, very efficient and trying to keep it that way. The 0-2. Clips the zone for strike 3. That's the 4th strikeout for Castro. The second one via the backwards K. Now the backstop, Kaysen Sullivan looks to chip into the lead. First pitch from Castro is outside, ball 1. So now the 1-0, 1 down. That's in there for a called strike. Another called strike. Freezes the hitter Sullivan. Now 1-2. The 47th pitch. In there, called strike 3. He does it again and paints the corner for another backwards K, his 5th overall. And Citronelle down to their final out. As it is Colin Weaver who reached base in the second, came around to score one of the two Citronelle runs. That'll be outside for ball one. Bounces in the turf. Ball two. Our RSN personnel in the house, Zach Sinelli. Can't tell the story of the Region Sports Network without Zach Sinelli. Big-time producer in the house. 2-0. In there for a called strike. As now the 2-1. That's in the turf. Weaver working a good at-bat here. Trying to reach base for the second time in the ballgame. The 3-1. Dribbled back to the pitcher. Corrals it, throws to first in time. And that will be the ball game. Mexico gets the victory, 13-2.
After shaking hands, we ask that both teams line the base path for the presentation of the Ron Tellison Trophy.
And an impressive performance for Mexico. A team that moves to 2-1 overall and sets themselves up nicely for the final day of group play tomorrow. We'll be back here to wrap things up on the Region Sports Network. We've got 3 awards to hand out, so stay tuned. We'll crunch the numbers and get back to you shortly.
At Athletic Performance Factory in Highland, Indiana, we push you to be bigger, faster, stronger, more explosive. Challenge every muscle with our cutting-edge sand speed and agility training. Build rock-solid strength and core stability to dominate on game day. Rent our full-size outdoor turf field for team workouts and practices. Improve your swing, boost your field skills, and protect your arm with expert one-on-one baseball and softball training built around you. We develop the entire athlete, mentally and physically. Athletic Performance Factory, where athletes are made.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
3 awards to hand out for this Mexico victory. 13-2 is the final score over Citronelle. We will start things off with the Crowd Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. They have offices open from 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. Look, when you go the distance, I'll say, especially in this stage of the tournament, you really make yourself valuable for some big-time matchups come down the line. And I think that's exactly what Francisco Castro did of Mexico. Again, really kind of worked the strikeouts later in the game as well. Very, very efficient. Only 52 pitches to his name. And again, makes himself available going forward. Now time for the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. I got to give a nod to Citronelle's. Let me just make sure my stats align here. But I think we're going to go with, I like going with Dunn for Citronelle. Landon Dunn, the pitcher. Yes, again, a very, very tough first inning, but really battled even into the second inning. Yes, again, you look at the line, look at the box score, and it's one of those things that, yeah, it's going to be a tough one to swallow. But again, the body language and showing again the aspects and the traits of a blue collar, award winner. I'll give it to Landon Dunn of Citronelle for hanging his head high and staying tough throughout a tough loss against Mexico. Finally, the proud to be Union play of the game by Ironworkers Local 395. For more information on the apprenticeship programs and more, check out ironworkers395.com. I think a big hit in the ball game that really was a haymaker was from Mexico's Elias Cordova, a 2-run double in the first inning. I believe it made the score 6-0 and really kind of coasted their way to a big-time 13-2 victory over Citronelle. Again, a huge win for Mexico. Once again, these wins are ever more important as the days progress. So shout out to Mexico. Again, for our credits, our executive producer is Chris Ramirez. The operations manager of the Region Sports Network is Rich Castillo. Our crew here for this game, Martin Murillo Jr. was the cameraman. Kyle Stowers as well, learning a little bit of everything. And Tony Madrino was our main producer for this ball game. For the coaches for both sides. For Mexico, that was Luis Lopez. And for Citronelle, look for the Citronelle lineup here. We might have misplaced it. For Citronelle's head coach, Citronelle, we appreciate them for doing what they do. Kirk Nelson is the head coach of Citronelle as well. So for Coach Nelson, for Coach Lopez of both respective sides. Special thanks, of course, for Crown Point Cal Ripken, Adam Whitehouse, the tournament director, as well as the tournament board, the personnel, everybody that spends countless hours here making this tournament go, tournament volunteers, the umpires, everybody here. Of course, you guys, the viewers, whether it's on regionsports.com, YouTube/RegionSports, or Facebook/RegionSportsNation, we cannot do what we do without you. And that's all from us here from Mayfield. Action will resume on very, very shortly. I'm Mike Dewan signing off. This has been a production of the Region Sports Network of the 2026 Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Coverage of the 11U Cal Ripken World Series is made possible by Blue Crew for all of your umpire needs. Pulse Technology, leading the way in technological innovation for over 70 years. Strack and Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn. Visit Michigan City LaPorte. Closer than you think, better than you imagine. Ironworkers Local 395. Proud to be Union. Crowell Insurance Company, the insurance superheroes. Bricklayers Local 4. The best hands in the business. Athletic Performance Factory, where athletes are made. Diamond Plate Eatery and Pub. Eat, drink, play. IBEW Local 697. Proud to support high school sports. American Testing Services. America's trusted name in NDT. Public Bar and Rec. Make it public. Station 21 American Grill. Eat, drink, relax. You're watching the 11U Cal Ripken World Series on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.